Hello, yes, welcome back to another review. Today we have another mouse review. We have the RAWM SH01PRO 8K wireless mouse. It's quite the name, but this is actually a really good mouse. And before we start, I do want to say this mouse was sent out to me for review, but I will be completely honest, I won't change my thoughts on the mouse at all. Now, this is advertised as the best budget gaming mouse on their website. It has some great internals on it. It's using a 3950 in it, and it's actually £45 right now on sale. It would usually be 75, but on sale is 40% off, which I think is incredible. Like, we'll get into it, but for £45, this mouse is actually insane. So let's get a bit into the specs of it. We got a Nordic chip. It's like the specs are very good. It's using Huano green and white dot switches. You can get an 8K polling rate version with the dongle, or like the wired Bluetooth version. It has what they call ice feeling coating, but we will get into the coating later because I do have some bugs with the coating. And then it is using a 3950, which is top of the market, very good. Now the mouse itself is 55 grams, give it like 2 grams, different scales and stuff, but it is roughly 55 grams, so it's not the lightest mouse on the market, considering mice are now going 30 grams, you know what I mean? It's getting crazy, but it's not like a really heavy mouse. It's not upwards of like 70, so it's a decent weight, I think, for most people. Like, I wouldn't be complaining of 50-gram mouse. I think it's fine. What does weigh it is the battery inside is quite large, so that's what's giving it more weight in my opinion, because the shape itself is quite small. So let's obviously talk a bit about shape. It's very, very recognizable what it is. It is of course a Viper V3 clone. As you can see, it's a very safe shape. It's a very good shape. It is slightly tweaked, I would say. I would say it definitely has a bit more curve on the side. And I think that helps it if you want a claw gripper or something like that. But it's just a very safe shape you can use for most mouse grips. But as I said, it isn't an original shape. You can clearly see that this is inspired by or cloned Viper V3. So on the mouse itself, you see here it has a lot of buttons on it. We have the main mouse click scroll wheel buttons on the top, and then on the bottom here we also have a DPI button, on and off button, and a Bluetooth button, and we also have a tray for any receivers, which I can grab here. So coming out the mouse here, you would find these inside of the mouse at the start, so I would recommend taking them out. But how did it perform using its 8K dongle, which you do have to spend a bit more on, but it's still right now only £45, which is actually insane. The 8K was fine. Using their online web app, I didn't have any issues connecting to it. I didn't have any issues in game. I was running this mainly Valorant and stuff, and I didn't feel any sort of issues. Kovacs as well. I don't run 8K in Kovacs. Kovacs doesn't cope well with high polling rate mice and dongles, so I couldn't reach the 8K there. But in like other games, just like Valorant and just everyday use, 8K was fine. I had no issues. It felt stable. It felt very fast. So the slot skates actually work very well. They're controlled, as you can see. They're the black pads, but they do have quite a nice glide onto them, and I do feel quite precise with my movements when using them. Like, I don't have any issues with inconsistencies, and they have lasted me so far. Like, they're large skates, and on glass they felt fine. I don't feel any ripping on them or anything like that. They look good quality. So now let's talk about the overall build quality of the mouse. I would like to say it's very good build quality. There's no flexing at all. It's a very, very solid shell and a very solid shape. I'm pressing all around the mouse and I'm getting absolutely no creaking, no flexing. It's very solid, and I would expect that. The mouse itself is built well, but it's always a good sign, when you're buying a budget mouse, a budget gaming mouse, and you sometimes expect the quality not to be top, but this is This is a top quality mouse. This is like very good standard. Now something I want to talk about especially is the coating. The coating on this mouse is not great at all. It's probably the worst part of the mouse that I could think of. It's the biggest negative of the mouse, and I don't have many negatives of this mouse, but this is it. The coating, it really does show up any like oils or hand moistures or anything that you have in your hand. Really, if it's humid, it's going to lose its grip, it's going to show fingerprints. That's just what I want to point out. So if you're in a very humid place, or in general, I would just recommend putting some grip tape on this. I really would. I think it'll just improve your experience on the mouse 100%, because you won't have any issues with it sliding or just showing up all the oils in your hand or anything like that. If you just put some grip tape on it, it works fine. The switches itself, it uses Huano green and white dot switches. Now this is my first time using these switches, but Huano are great at making them, and I would like to say these feel very nice. They feel very fast, very snappy, and they felt good in game. I liked using them. They were a good experience to use. Are they the best Huano switches? Are they the best switches on the market? No, not, but they're still good. And for this mouse, they work perfectly fine for what the mouse is, for its budget. I like them a lot. The side buttons give me a different experience though. These are not as snappy and they're not as quick to go. I feel like they're a bit more stiff and loose, but if that makes sense. Like when I'm clicking the main clicks, they feel really fast and responsive, but the side buttons feel more mushy and more stiff with it, you know. Now pre and post travel, there's a bit of pre and post, but like for £45 mouse, that's fine. I'm not expecting anything like amazing with it. So overall, this mouse is very good. But for the £45 price tag it's got, it's an insanely good option, because you're getting a very good, very popular shape, insanely good build quality with very top of the market specs. For £45, you cannot complain when you get this mouse. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next one.